Hey there friendos, Newbornkilik here, welcoming you back to another awesome Zelda-related video. Now I know it has been about an eternity or two as we are self-isolating. It is time to make another video. Instead of playing Doom or Animal Crossing, we're making videos. In all seriousness, today we're going to be looking at 3 Zelda-related myths in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The first one is something that you probably have a misconception about already, unless you're in the speedrun community, as well as we have saved the spookiest for last. Let's get right into it. Myth number 1 is that side hopping is the fastest mode of transport. Obviously, when I say fastest mode of transport, I mean on your little feetsies. We're not talking about Epona. That one's clearly faster than any of the alternatives. Now, when taking a look at this, there are a handful of things that you need to understand about travel in Ocarina of Time, or really travel in general. That is your amount of control and the precision that each action actually requires. Something like just running straight forward is going to get you through a maze faster. However, over long distances such as the Hylian Field, you may find that backwalking or side hopping is faster. But which one is actually the fastest? Side hopping, rolling, or backwalking? Now what we've done to set up our test here is we've gone to the windmill in Lon Lon Ranch, and we're going to leave this area. We're going to make a save state right here. So we always have a consistent starting position. First off, we're going to just run forward. This will be our control, and we're going to time this all along the way. As we can see, backwalking is just a little bit faster than the other methods, but when you think about the implication of saving as many seconds as possible in, say, a speed run, it's going to be very, very useful to use this technique. Not to mention, it keeps you in a nice straight line. So unfortunately, although child me actually thought this for the longest time, and you probably thought it as well, even if you're just a connoisseur of the memes, that is kind of the meme of this game, is that you just side hop everywhere. Funny meme, unfortunately, very wrong. Myth number 2, and that is that you can actually break boulders with the Master Sword using a crouch stab after using the Megaton Hammer. Now, if you've been keeping up with the series, you'll be well aware that the crouch stab actually uses the last damage value of whatever you used before, be it the Deku Stick, the Megaton Hammer. It will still do the same damage, but the question is, does it keep the boulder breaking properties of the Megaton Hammer? So honestly, this is one of the easier myths to test. All we have to do is just use a simple control of this little boulder here, smash it up a little bit. As we can see, 2 smashes and it is a gone boy. Now that we have our control, of course we have the option to reload the save state because those are the only 2 boulders left in existence of Hyrule, and I just broke them. Oops, now that we have our control, we know for sure that those boulders are going to break. Just in case you were a non-believer, smash the ground with our Megaton Hammer, take out our Master Sword, and one more. That blows my mind. I had no idea you could do that. That blows my mind. I actually had no idea about that. Okay, so can you destroy boulders with the Master Sword crouch stab? Yes, you can, assuming you use the Megaton Hammer beforehand. Very possible. Very interesting. So it looks like it takes all the properties from the last attack and not just the damage. The more you know. On to the third and final myth. Redeads in Ocarina of Time have the ability to essentially freeze time. Not only freeze you in fear, but also freeze you in mid-air. My brain tells me this is true, however, I'm not 100% sure on it. Luckily, the royal family is no stranger when it comes to making Redeads and putting them in their graves to defend their songs. It doesn't have to make sense, it just has to be functional. So while this is most likely the easiest myth to test, it's also the most nerve-wracking. We gotta get close enough to a Redead, and my plan is just to backflip into them. Once we backflip, we should get frozen, and if we freeze midair, then we know the deal is good. We know that they can freeze time. We know that they are essentially... Link, don't you spread the virus to me, young man. Cover your cough and wash your damn hands. But we'll know that they're very powerful beings indeed, essentially being able to freeze time. Can I just backflip past you? How was I supposed to know? They really don't care if you just backflip past them. That makes this a lot harder to test. If I learned anything from last video, it's that eating a Poe soul is in my favor. Given the consistency of how I'm being yelled at right now, but that doesn't seem to happen when I'm mid-backflip. It does actually seem like I have to have my boots on the ground, so to speak, in order to get yelled at. Okay. Even if it is kind of at the very butt end of the animation, they do still need to be on the ground, as evidenced by the fact that he does not freeze us until we're actually on the ground. Even though at this rate we can definitely see that he's freezing us almost constantly here. So unfortunately in Ocarina of Time, the Redead cannot freeze you midair. This is actually a really big awakening to me. I thought for sure that in Ocarina of Time you could be frozen midair. Maybe I was thinking of Majora's Mask? But that is for another episode. Anyway, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Sorry for this kind of hiatus here. I just want you to know that if you are a patron, you have been refunded for this month, as I basically didn't release anything in the month of March. I'm hoping to get kind of back on schedule, maybe not completely, but since I'm stuck at home anyway, I may as well make a handful of videos. I stream as well. Let me know if you have any myths you'd like tested in the next video. I'm Newbornkilik, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.